Today's video is going to be a little bit different and a little bit longer than what a typical video is. Today we're trying to answer a question that we get quite often from our customers is, why is your roll-off package more expensive when you see these $26,000 to $28,000 packages and yours is over $32,000 for that package? So today we hope to answer that questions with, first we're going to go over the trailers that we typically keep in stock with the options that they have on it, and then we're going to go inside and look at the prices and what the differences are from what you typically see in the market versus these trailers right here. So for comparison's sake, we are going to look at a roll-off package with 3 bins on it and the trailer. So the main difference is going to be in the price of the trailer itself. So hopefully it doesn't rain while we do this. Coming from the front, we got a 30,000 pound round gooseneck coupler with a 10-inch I-beam neck, and then an 8-inch per 10-pound I-beam frame. And then coming from the front here, we're going to first look at the toolbox. And here's going to be a few of the major differences, but these come with an 8-way wireless remote, which is actually in the box right there. Turn that sucker over. Right there. Comes with 2 batteries, and we got ourselves a Noco charger, a 4-way pump, and that wireless remote actually operates the 4-way pump, the electric tarp that is over here, and the hydraulic jacks and the hydraulic cylinder underneath there, and then also the 22,000 pound winch. Now MAXX-D also just started with these flip down spare mounts here underneath as well. And then coming from the side here, we got hydraulic jacks, which is super awesome, especially if you ever have had to hook up and unhook one of these trailers, or any trailer really. It makes a life of a difference. And then we got ourselves the winch. That's going to be a 22,000 pound with a synthetic rope winch instead of the cable. Coming from the side, we got ourselves 2 AK axles, heavy duty AK axles with, actually instead of 18 ply tires, MAXX-D, or 16 ply tires, MAXX-D's been throwing on 18 ply tires on all of their trailers. So you got a 2 ply upgrade without any charge, and that includes the spare as well. And then we got ourselves the electric tarp. Push of a button, which operates off of the wireless remote, and has a side mount box as well that operates this as well. So if you all of a sudden do lose the remote, you can still operate the whole trailer. Each of it has a wired in remote as well. Like this one has this right here, and then the hydraulics have the 4-way remote in there. And then on the winch, we also have a remote that was on the left or on the right hand side there that plugs in right there. So if you do all of a sudden accidentally happen to lose it or leave the wireless remote at home, the whole trailer has wired in remotes as well. Also, the other one had the bins on it, so we can't really dump it out. This is the cylinder underneath here. That's the cylinder right there. Now we're going to go look at one that's typical. So this is going to be the more typical one that you'll see under those that are priced at $26,000 and $28,000. I think that's a pretty big difference, especially whenever you're lifting up stuff. If you've ever had to move something from the front that was 200 pounds to the back just so that the cylinder could do it, that's what that smaller cylinder will have and make you do, versus this bigger one. You should, unless you have a ton of extra weight in the front, you should not have to shovel weight to the back just to dump it out. But let's go ahead and take a look at the prices and the differences between the two and why one is more expensive than the other. So with all of those upgrades on this one is priced at $32,450. So now we're going to go inside and look at each individual upgrade that I talked about that our trailer has on and that most other brands do not. So we're going to go over that and see what the price difference is.
Sorry, my throat has been pretty sore lately, so hopefully you guys can understand and know what I'm saying. So we're gonna start with that trailer that we were talking about outside. It is priced at $32,450, and basically, reasons the MAXX-D is higher priced. That's the main thing that we're trying to answer here today and get to the bottom of it. So first up, the electric tarp is gonna be a roughly, if we ordered it in, is about a $1,750 upgrade on it, and we typically order them in with that just because we know that that's something that most guys are going to want, so they don't have to climb up there and tarp their own stuff. You know, people throw all kinds of stuff away, nails being one of them in boards, so you don't want to get poked with that, so you're better off just having something that has electric over it. So that's going to be a price of $1,750, right? Winch, most of the other brands that we've seen in the market are going to have a 17.5K winch on it. Now the MAXX-D always goes with a 22K winch on theirs. And that upgrade, roughly from what I was looking at both of those winches, and I was comparing Warrior, one of the best brands in the market, winches versus 17.5K to the 22K winch comparison between the two. And that price difference is right about $600 difference. Now I've seen a lot of them go with Smitty builds, which from what I've heard is one of the lower end brands, but I'm sure they do great. I mean, can't sell something if it didn't work, at least sometimes. Thirdly actually, we're gonna be looking at this. So the 7K axles that we mostly see on other brands are gonna be 7K axles. MAXX-D's, the one that we get always in, is going to have 8K axles on it and 18 ply tires, versus the other guy typically is going to have 10 ply tires on there. So have fun replacing all those tires as people are overloading your bins and stuff like that. So we've actually also seen people even with the 18 ply tires blow their tires up because they rented it out to a customer put dirt in it at the bottom, and it gets heavy really quick, especially if it gets wet, and they still managed to blow up their tire. But that upgrade, just going to the 8K axles and the 18 ply tires, is a $1,400 upgrade. The other upgrade that we always throw on the trailers, just because we love the ease of use, since the trailers are going to be typically a little bit more expensive anyway, we throw on hydraulic jacks. If you ever had them, you will never want to go away from those. And those upgrade typically runs right about $1,500 if we order it in with it, which there's two things that they change out. So the jacks come in hydraulic jacks, and then the pump comes in, instead of in a two-way pump like you'll typically see, into a four-way pump. So if we upgrade them here, it typically runs closer to $2,200. But we also don't change out the pump. We just put a selector valve in there. So ordering it in with that is always the best way to do it, but we can always save you after the fact as well if you are interested in getting that upgrade. So it's about a $2,200 to $2,500 with labor to get it installed. But for the sake of these numbers to make sense, it's $1,500 to get it ordered in that way. The next thing that I've seen none of the other brands so far do, and that is include a wireless remote. Now, most of them have a wireless remote for the winch, since it already comes with a wireless remote. But MAXX-D goes above and beyond, and they have an 8-way wireless remote which operates the whole trailer. Now, if you order the trailer in without hydraulic jacks and without an electric tarp, it would come in with a 4-way wireless remote, which we will go over that trailer as well yet. It's this one right here. We'll go over that one yet later. But the 8-way wireless remote costs roughly $1,000. That is, it's high, but once you've had it, again, you will not want to go without it, because most of the other ones you'd have to at least have the hydraulics on a wired in remote, so you can only go so far from the trailer and then operate the winch with the wireless remote. So most people are going to be very happy to have a 8-way wireless remote, and that's a free. It's already included in the trailer. It's not an upgrade that you can select on the MAXX-Ds. Now the other thing is, as I was showing, the hoist itself. MAXX-D goes with a 620 hoist. Now we do see some of the other brands go with that as well, but a lot of brands, they go the cheap route and go with a 516, which is shorter stroke and a smaller cylinder just overall. So it roughly adds up to, because you'd have to replace the hoist and the cylinder if you want to go with the bigger one. That's roughly a $300 upgrade before the fact. After the fact, I don't think you could even, you'd have to cut off a lot of crap to get it to the bigger hoist. And once you've had it, you'll want it for sure. This is the last item, but definitely not the least item. And it's the charger on it. So I'll show a picture of that as well. The one that MAXX-D used to use, that's kind of the standard option across the board that most other manufacturers are using still. There are a few that are using the NOCO charger, which I love the NOCO charger just because it has so many abilities to charge. So we can actually have a dual bank, meaning that you have a 5 amp charge pour battery versus the old style would have a 5 amp charger, which would have to charge both the batteries. So you're actually going about 2.5 per battery. So, and the NOCO chargers also has a great feature, is it's a maintainer as well, and also is able to repair, you know, small issues with the battery. So it keeps batteries alive better. So just overall a better charger. So that charger cost of an upgrade is about 110 bucks, roughly. All that said, roughly, typically, the MAXX-D's upgrades versus the other guy, not all other brands, needless to say, but it's roughly about $6,660 of upgrades on the trailer that we throw on there, equaling out to $32,450 on a 3-bin package. Now, we do also have the option of, which, that's why we get the question all the time, like, why is, you know, I can find a $26,000 bin set up with 3 bins and trailer, or 28,000, 26 to 28,000 typically is going to be the range that we hear a lot. But like I was saying, these are the upgrades that a lot of these typically don't have. So most of them will come with the 7K axles and 10-ply tires. Most of them will not come with hydraulic jacks, definitely not wireless remote. Some of them will have a bigger hoist, but not all. And winch, it's a very standard option, is a 17.5K winch versus a 22,000 pound winch. And the electric tarp is where most of them skim out of. So that's a no-no in my opinion. So 26 to 28,000. We have a trailer that we can order in, which has 7K axles, 10-ply tires on it. It doesn't have the hydraulic jacks, it doesn't have the 8K axles, but MAXX-D still will put, and that's a 3-bin package, $27,950. It will still come with an 8-way wireless remote, bigger hoist, and a better battery charger than most of the other brands out there. So, saying this, you can either go with this one right here, or you can go with something that has all the upgrades on that you could possibly imagine, or you can go with this one here and still get more upgrades on it than these guys. Hopefully that explains kind of why the MAXX-D typically is going to be more versus the other brands. The one thing I forgot to mention on it is the MAXX-D also has a 5-year structural warranty on it and a 2-year comprehensive warranty, which most of the other brands that I've seen out there have a 3-year structural warranty and a 1-year comprehensive warranty on it on their trailers. And on top of that, the MAXX-D on average also has a better paint than most other brands. Most others will have a 5-step powder coat. The MAXX-D has a 6-step, which is sandblasting. Then they do an acid wash on them to clean off all so that there's no residue on it. Go through an oven to make sure that that thing is dried off. Put it through first powder coat, which is not just the paint. They put the primer on there first, and then the powder coat, and then it goes through the oven. So 6-step versus a 5 or 4-step typically is going to hold out longer lasting. So hopefully that answers all the questions that you guys had as far as why the MAXX-D is more than versus the other brand is. Typically it's just simply because the MAXX-D comes with more options on it. So, but if you want something that has less options at a more affordable price, we have that option too. We just typically don't offer it just because I like to offer the customers, because most of the customers that we deal with are going to be into commercial stuff where, you know, this is what they're going to be doing for a living and not just a weekend here and there thing. So we like to make sure that they're taken care of, that they're not, you know, having issues right off the bat. So it's typically how we outfit our trailers. So give us a call at 430-340-0307 if you're looking for a roll-off package.
And like always, don't forget to like and comment below this video and subscribe to this channel to keep up with deals that we have going on and new trailers that we have coming in.